Well, turning back to the forecast now, if you like today's weather, you're in luck for the rest of the week.
Yeah, well, you're right. Much of the same over the next several days with some minor changes from here to there. You'll find tomorrow's Tiny Town Grape Festival forecast a lot like it was tonight. So if you weren't able to make it out there tonight to get some of that good old-fashioned grape ice cream, tomorrow should be a wonderful evening for it. In the 90s, right around 6 o'clock, eventually closer to sunset, we fall into the 80s. It feels like temperatures, of course, a few degrees warmer than that, given all that humidity that'll be around the area. We'll watch for a couple of pop-up thunderstorms. Right now, we're really between two different weather systems. You've got a stalled out front to our west, a little low pressure situated right there along that front. High pressure just off to our east. Where we're at in proximity, we've got south-southeasterly winds, which is part of the reason why today got a little bit more muggy and humid than it was yesterday. And that trend continues tonight. Those winds will continue pumping in some more moisture from the Gulf, and that's not really going to change in the next several days. Here's Futurecast tomorrow, 10 o'clock. There was an idea that there could be a couple of sprinkles early in the morning. I think models have really backed off that idea. I still wouldn't be surprised for one or two stray sprinkles to roll through northwest Arkansas. The better opportunities are no doubt going to be in the afternoon. We're talking the classic summertime pop-ups that there's really no rhyme or reason as to where they pop up. They're few, they're far between. Most of us are going to be dry. This, though, 3 o'clock, showing some better signs south of Interstate 40. That has been relatively consistent in the data today. Still looking at a few of these here and there, maybe some of those northwest Arkansas into the evening and let's say late evening hours, but a lot of us are going to be dry again tomorrow. There could be some clouds roll through, and at times those clouds may provide a little bit of relief, but it's still shaping up to be a pretty hot day. 105 to as high as 108. Now the likely heat index value for the area is here in orange. That's a heat advisory. They're a dime a dozen. We've had many of them at this point this summer. They're just reminders. Hey, take care of yourself if you are going to be out and about. It's already going to be steamy by lunchtime. By 2 o'clock, we're getting up there in that heat advisory criteria along the I-40 corridor. Somewhat surprised there's not a heat advisory in effect for Logan and Johnson yet. That would have to come out of the Weather Service office in Little Rock. I wouldn't be surprised by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, there probably will be one. Still looking at some triple-digit heat index values in places like Bella Vista and Bentonville. Gravette tomorrow, 102, likely in Poto as well. If there was going to be any meaningful relief, we would want this trough of lower pressure that's situated in Canada, parts of the upper Midwest. We'd want that to sink a little bit further closer to us. This ridge of high pressure, though, while it's not as strong as it was last week, it is still a relatively dominant feature in the weather forecast, and that's going to keep the jet stream, those wide arrows, almost parallel, almost just kind of linear there. But by Thursday and Friday, you notice a subtle dip here. Key takeaway there is that may allow a system to work its way our direction, providing at least a chance of a few scattered showers. We'll keep it at pop-up level tomorrow and then Thursday during the day. Thursday night into Friday, we'll bump you up to 40% in northwest Arkansas. At that range, there's no guarantee everyone sees rain. Far from a widespread washout, but it may be enough to keep us slightly cooler. Then this weekend, we return right back into those middle 90s. There you have it. We'll probably stay in the mid-90s, northwest Arkansas, the majority of next week. A pretty typical August pattern, so it's not that we're surprised. I think a lot of us were just somewhat hopeful for another cool down like what we enjoyed this past weekend. 100 tomorrow in the River Valley. That's going to be common across most of the River Valley. 100 again Thursday. At best, a spotty pop-up or two. Better odds of rain Thursday night into Friday. I think the odds in the River Valley may be slightly less than in northwest Arkansas. We'll keep it at about 30%. Still a few more than the standard summertime pop-up, right? Weekend looks hot, but usual for this time of the year, and that weather pattern doesn't really change a lot going into next week.
We're holding strong, and if I had to guess, I would say it'll probably go on for a few more weeks, at least.
Yes, yes, the end is in sight. But, summer never really gives up around here. We'll have some hot days going into October, right? So, yeah, we got a ways to go.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Yep.